So the other day, my mother said to me, you do not realise how many of your cousins hate your YouTube channel. And that's because they tend to work in the public health sector or in education. They have stable pensions. They've got stable jobs. Never going to get sacked, are they? And they're all very much on the left. Now, let's listen to these two ladies here talk a little bit about how the left and Islam have formed an unholy alliance that, well, hopefully will destroy both of them. But if anything, it's probably going to destroy the UK first.
Queers for Palestine. When you see these images and you see these expressions and you think, what kind of world do we live in?
So the interesting thing about this leftist Islamist alliance is that it requires a mutual dishonesty that both sides are fully aware of. And this is what's important to understand, because the leftists are recruiting the Islamists as the reactionary force to destroy the West, because they're anti-West, anti-capitalism, anti all of these things. They know, the leftists know that they're racist and misogynists and murderers and terrorists and all of these things, but they have to pretend for their part, no, we really believe that these are just great guys, You're lying. Just stop. You hate the West and these are against the West, so you're recruiting them.
And in this video, I'm going to show you more films like that one. Okay, this is where the unholy alliance, isn't it, as I said, between Islam and the left. They're liars, guys. Absolute liars. I don't want liars in this country. And there's a young man here who feels very similar to me.
Right, guys, I just wanted to make a quick video on, well, it's not your country. If you're not happy, fuck off. The UK's ours now. May Allah bless the king. How disrespectful. How disrespectful is that? So when are people going to start standing up, or people going to keep thinking the country's not being invaded, the country's not being taken over? When are people going to start actually getting their heads out the sand?
So your boy is right. There's no two ways about it. I call it ethnocide because it is ethnocide, isn't it? It's the cultural erosion of an ethnic people, which is the white nation, has been white in the UK then for the last 1,000 years. Call me racist, call me transphobic, call me homophobic. No one cares. It's done now, guys. Done. Let's have a listen to this next guy then, because he seems to know a lot more about how Islam is taking over these countries. Now, the real prize, of course, is America. They haven't really gone there yet. They're starting to go there. The problem that they've got in the UK is they've met Christians. That's one of the big problems, by the way. They've met young English people like this young English man here. He's not going to mess around, is he? He knows exactly what's going to happen. And the problem is as well, by coming to the UK, that they realise we're not going to tolerate their absolute bullshit. And that's the issue. They've shown their hand too quickly. We know who they are, and they know we know who they are.
Why is there a GB6057 code on this Waitrose British lamb half leg? Because it was halal slaughter. Why are there 85 Islamic councils operating across the country? And why are rulings issued by those Sharia courts enforceable with the full power of the judicial system? Because Faiz Ul-Akhtab Siddiqui and others are taking advantage of a loophole in the Arbitration Act 1996. Why has the right-wing Alternative to the Establishment Reform Party named a Muslim with Egyptian heritage as their London mayoral candidate for 2028? And why has that same party named Mohammed Zayauddin Yusuf, who is a Muslim, their head of policy? Why are there 25 Muslim MPs currently in the House of Commons? Why is the current mayor of the capital city a Muslim? Why is our Home Secretary a Muslim from Pakistan? Why are there NGOs like Muslim Engagement and Development that focus on improving the media and political literacy of British Muslims, tackling Islamophobia, and encouraging political, civic and social engagement with British Muslim communities? And why was that NGO founded by somebody called Sofian Ismail, who is a tax avoidance promoter, one of the most influential Muslims in the world, and founded First Ethical, which is the first FSA authorized Islamic financial advice firm, in other words, Sharia compliant financial services firm? I don't know. I'm just asking questions. Can anyone help me out?
When I was teaching on Jets here, one thing I was constantly surprised by was how intelligent the younger generation were coming through. They may not seem it sometimes, right? But they bloody are. And you're seeing a lot of young people now coming up and saying, we're not going to stand for this. And I've always said the revolution is going to be one we need, not one we want. It's going to be ultimately massively brutal. And it's not going to be led by guys like myself. It's going to be led from the ground up by those young'uns you've just seen in those last couple of clips. And of course, the people that are going to be revolting against are these politicians. And I mean, how they've literally lost the country. It's absolutely, listen to this.
Those putting up flags and supporting them have been emboldened to perpetrate racism, intimidate communities, have beaten people up and hung a death threat on our city wall. What further support can government give my local authority to get those flags down, because even contractors are being intimidated?
the flag is something that we have to reclaim and reclaim it proudly. We know that in some communities they are being used to intimidate and divide.
I don't think she knows anything about the flag. I know about the flag, by the way. That's that flag right there. I know everything about it, right? Because I served under it for 20 years. I never saw any of those women serve under it unless I'm very much mistaken. And the thing is, there is no reclaiming the flag for Labour. There's no real reclaiming the flag for the Conservatives, all right? They don't know who the English are. They don't know who the Scots and the Welsh and the Irish are either. They only know who the British are, don't they? Because anyone, they think, can be British, so we can boost the GDP, lower the debt to GDP ratio, secure a foreign investment, and make them all loads of money. I'm the guy they come after. Why? Why do they come after me? Because I served for 20 years in the Royal Air Force and the Royal Navy. And all I'm saying is what I'm seeing. That's the problem. All I'm saying is the truth. It's no different from what you see as well. I'm privileged to have this platform that I worked on for about the last 8 years or something, so I can have a voice. A lot of people can't. Now, we do have a link. There are people in my family as well that I find it very difficult to speak to, and a lot of the time, and I'll tell you a story right now. So when I speak to my uncle, and he's a really good man and he's in his 70s, and I walk around Oxford the other day and I said to him, do you realise that by 2063 the entirety of the UK, the white man's going to be a minority in there? And he said, so? And I said, he's a white man himself. I said, yeah, but hang on a second. I said, what, does it not bother you? And he says, no, it doesn't bother me in the slightest. Now, I said the same thing to my mum and she said, I don't see a problem with it. And this is the issue, because I guess in a decade or two, they're all going to be dead anyway. It doesn't affect them. Now, I haven't got children. We've spoken about this before. I don't do this because of my kids, because I haven't got any. I do this because of the blood in the ground on which I walk. And that's why we all should be doing it, because of the people that came before us and the people that are going to come behind us. Oh, you know how I feel about this woman. She's an absolute disgrace. Shabana Mahmood, our Home Secretary, a British woman, but definitely not English. Can't be English. Not English. Pakistani parents, Pakistani heritage.
You know, the people that you see holding the English flag most of the time, down my neck of the woods, will be the EDL, and they are white and they are male and they're bad people and they want to divide our communities from one another.
Yeah, EDL doesn't exist. Okay, I don't think Shabana Mahmood actually has ever seen them, and as Home Secretary, it's an absolute disgrace she's saying that. But look, have a look at this advert very quickly for Ground News. They're a good sponsor for this channel, and it helps us get both sides of the argument here, because we cannot come from it from a bigoted position. That's not right. We need to have a balanced argument. It's well worth it, guys, and I pay for it too, by the way. A quick advert for Ground News, who sponsor this channel, luckily, because YouTube ain't giving me no money, fam. You know what I'm talking about. All the stories you'll find on the front page here that are current. However, you can search for stuff in the bar at the top. When you click on a story, then it will show you here, look, what's left-leaning, centre, or right-leaning. It's a right-leaning story. Let's click on it. And then straight away it gives you a summary at the top there. All the stories here, down there. You can even expand it for more articles if you want at the bottom. On the right here, it shows that there's 34 articles. There's 5 left, 14 right, and then there's 5 centre. Below it then, the bias distribution shows that this is a right-leaning article, and you can see here Fox News, Israel, all that kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Here, factuality, expand that. You can see which ones are more factually correct than others, and so you can see who owns it as well. Where are your biases in this? Click on the article if you want. You'll go straight to that website then, and at the top you can see there's a bar that drops down as well, again showing where these biases are. You can then look at left-leaning articles and right-leaning articles and not get sidetracked by the mainstream media. 40% off. Thank me later.
It's like someone's trying to destroy England. It's literally like they've got a concerted effort to destroy England, and they're getting away with it.
Yeah, and what happens over there?
It's really crazy. It's really crazy to watch, because the mass immigration's not an accident. It's on. If I was going to destroy a country, I would do it exactly the way they're doing it.
And it's such a victimhood narrative that Islam portrays the whole time. I think we're all sick of it now. I mean, we're British, right? We're English, Scots, Welsh, Irish. We do tolerate, we do accept up to a certain extent. And then, of course, as you know, we just go mad and just, end everyone. Of course, the biggest victims of Islamic extremists are Muslims themselves. This is what our Home Secretary is saying, but she is mad as a snake, of course.
And I commit myself and the government to doing everything in our power to stand up to this particular threat without fear or favour, to destroy it for good. And I would note for this House that the first people that Islamists often suppress, hurt and damage are their fellow Muslims as well.
If you stopped Islamic immigration to the UK, do you think that the amount of Islamists and Islamic terror attacks would go up or down? It's revolutionary, this. I mean, I know I'm a genius, right? I should be Prime Minister myself, shouldn't I? This is why it's intentional, because you could stop it. We all know you could stop it, but they choose not to. Now, listen to Chris Hitchens back in 2000 and what's that, 9?
This is very urgent business, ladies and gentlemen, I beseech you. Resist it while you still can, and before the right to complain is taken away from you, which will be the next thing. You will be told you can't complain because you're Islamophobic. The term is already being introduced into the culture as if it was an accusation of race hatred, for example, or bigotry, whereas it's only the objection to the preachings of a very extreme and absolutist religion. Watch out for these symptoms. They are just symptoms of surrender, very often ecumenically offered to you by men of God in other robes, Christian and Jewish and smarmy ecumenical. These are the ones who will hold open the gates for the barbarians. The barbarians never take a city till someone holds the gates open for them. And it's your own preachers who will do it for you, and your own multicultural authorities who will do it for you. Resist it while you can.
Oh, we'd love to have Chris Hitchens around here at the moment. Look, these are Muslims extremists right now going into McDonald's and throwing mice around.
Palestine, free, free, Palestine, free, free, Palestine. Palestine.
Well, this is a Labour politician, a Sikh man of Sikh heritage, Jeevan Sanha, I believe it is, Labour politician, telling us that we need to take our flag down.
And then I see flags painted on roundabouts, and that is just a bit weird. And you know, because you've seen it online and I see it in my inbox, that this does make people feel uneasy. And they ask, what message are these flags supposed to be sending? Now look, I'll take people at their words. People who say this is about national pride. I'm proud of my country too, and I'm proud of our flag. But I do understand why others feel that it's about excluding people.
He's not wrong there, mate. It is about excluding people. It's about excluding all the massive amounts of immigrants that are coming to this country. This is about forcing immigrants in. This is about obviously lowering the wage of the British people. And this is about pushing up house prices as well. This is outrageous what's happening right now. It's ethnocide. Keep using that term. It's the cultural destruction of an ethnic population. In this particular case, it's the English mainly, but of course the Welsh, the Scots. There's more Muslims in the country right now than there are Welshmen. And we've got to be careful, guys, because of course we do have a way of interpreting social settings that is slightly different from different aspects of the population, he says, trying to retain control of his YouTube channel and not get himself banned.
Come on, not like this, not like this. I actually, you can't. Come on.
Don't touch me, hey.
Okay, say me.
What the fuck?
Come on.
Are you fucking crazy or what?
No crazy.
I said you don't touch me.
No crazy. أيوة خفوا معي يا صاحبي رح خليك.
Go.
No.
Go out.
خلي الشباب.
I want problem? I want fucking problem?
What? No, he doesn't. What? Not problem.
How to be a right-wing extremist in 2025 then. Love your country, get married, and I've said this to a lot of young people, try and see if you can get yourself married, guys, build a family, invest in traditional roles, get yourself a house and a job as well, you know what I mean? Start investing back into the countries. Anyway, we're going to save it, innit, mate? You know what I mean? And this is a young lady talking about the problems that she has in Southampton, in the south of the country.
In Southampton, you should avoid at all costs. I think sounds silly, but any dark alleys, you will get followed. I got followed last night with my friend. And especially, to be honest, like, stay in public areas, and maybe St. Mary's you want to avoid.
Right, I'm just going to say it. Your government has done this to you, all right? That's the end of it. Your government has done this. It's called ethnocide. I've talked about it before. If you want to have a balanced argument with people within your family and try and persuade them the dangers that are out there now because of the unregulated immigration that has been forced upon us without us asking for it, by the way, then, of course, I would say get Ground News, guys. It is a sponsor on the channel. I'll put the thing up here for you. Yeah, we get 40% off. I still pay for it as well, but it does allow you to see where your biases lie. I hope that's good for you guys. Hit the comments. I'm always looking at them. I really appreciate it. Tim Davies, Fast Jet Performance.